An emergency live stream by the CZN director to address the ongoing issues. If you didn't know, Chaos Zero Nightmare in Korea, it is a dumpster fire. Okay, it is an absolute dumpster fire. We went over a video of how everyone hates Owen. There is like a huge conspiracy theory that the main writer was ripped out of his promising web novel career to write for this game, got bullied out of the company to go write for Blue Archive. What is the drama? Korean no-lifers crying about pixels NTRing the player's self-insert? Well, yes, that, and they're refunding their purchases, which is big. And it just feels like the Korean audience is looking for every reason to on this game. And so this is their emergency stream to address the issues. I want to see what it's all about. You know that there is an impact to all of this because this guy looks like he's being held at gunpoint to make this video. I hope they survive this. I hope somehow some publisher picks it up overseas and it's just like, bye, Korea. He's gonna reveal the details.
확실하게 답변드리겠습니다.
No, we didn't bully the main writer.
그리고
Okay, yeah, that's like objectively a bad thing. Apparently, during the launch of the game, a lot of people have reported like, oh, their account's getting randomly deleted, right? That they couldn't log in, they couldn't play the game. Actively without drama, that sucks. Many fixes due to issues with payments not being processed properly, duplicate hydraulic issues caused by duplicate logins, fatal misunderstandings due to Korean language sessions, and bugs. I don't have the example offhand, but one of Haru's missions talks about how to use her cards, but one of the translations referenced something about a sunny morning or something like that. Haru means sunny from Japanese to English. The translations, that's just one example I can think of, but from what I've heard, a lot of translation issues are in the game. This is like 30 minutes. Let's read the summary. Summary of the emergency live stream. Here's the summary for you guys. Keep in mind some errors. It's an AI video summary. CEO of Super Creative and director of the game Chaos Zero Nightmare, Kajina, conducted a live broadcast to issue a comprehensive apology for the game's significant post-launch failures. He accepted full personal responsibility for widespread service instability, a critically flawed main story that marginalizes the player, and the mass resignation of the original scenario team, which he attributed directly to his excessive intervention. Ooh, uh-oh, bullying, uh-oh. In response, a series of decisive actions were announced. The central promise is a complete overhaul of the main story's first 5 chapters. Wow. Including new voice acting. To compensate for technical issues, players will receive 10 pickup anchors weekly throughout November. The director also addressed specific community concerns, including monetization, localization inconsistencies, and ideological controversies, vowing to revise content to eliminate any player doubt. He concluded with a personal appeal, asking that criticism be directed at him, and affirmed his commitment to not run away and restore the game's quality based on a player-centric philosophy. I mean, I'm just not so offended by the story, right? I am like, okay, launch issue sucks, but he's taking on the chin for sure. But as the leader, it is your responsibility. Acknowledgement of core failures. The director began the broadcast by identifying and taking ownership of the primary issues that have plagued the game since its launch. He acknowledged that these problems have caused significant disappointment among the user base. Say his role as the company's representative carried a heavy responsibility. Service instability, technical issues, identified problems, processing payments, item delivery, Korean language regression issue that led to critical misunderstandings. I guess that's the localization. Duplicate rewards resulting from login errors. The necessity for numerous hotfixes to address ongoing bugs. New issue related to Prism module observation that occurred on the day of the broadcast. Promise that the development team is working day and night to resolve these issues quickly as possible. We promise to fix everything as quickly as possible. Nice. Critical flaws in the main story narrative. Player alienation. The core narrative flaw was identified as positioning the player as an observer rather than a protagonist. He recognized the problem, stating, the fact that the game's characters are building bonds only with characters other than the protagonist is clearly a mistake. Cause of the flaw. He admitted to being aware of these story problems prior to launch. However, in a desire to meet the promised release schedule, he made the rash decision to proceed, intending to fix the issues in later updates. He described this mindset as thinking too easily and expressed deep regret. I don't know. If he caused the drama or whatever, firing the main scenario writer, sure, that sucks. But I just don't really think this is that big of an issue. Owen is not that guy. I don't think he is. In the English version, I was really like, when I did the first chapter of the prologue, Renoa like risked her life to save the player. Now the player doesn't really have that big of an like impact on the story from what I've read, or like rather he doesn't really take, he's not very vocal. I'm not the main character, so it's bad. No, for real. I feel like if this is a problem, the total opposite of it is Wuthering Waves, and I think that's what people or the Korean players want. C, staff departures and development process issues. Vary. That makes sense. Staff departures and development process issues. Address the controversy surrounding the departure of the game scenario writers, taking full responsibility for the circumstances. Confirmed that many members of the scenario team resigned last year. Okay, resigned. And stated unequivocally, the reason was my excessive intervention. He explained that under the pressure of the looming deadline, he personally participated in writing the script and pushed production forcefully. This stifled the creativity of the talented writers he had hired. He further revealed that the individuals who completed the current main story under limited time and constraints have also since resigned. He reiterated the departure of the writers is entirely my responsibility. To admit all of this and confirm it, I feel like he should just resign. Never blame an individual, blame the company. But he's the leader. Feels like he's being scapegoat. That's true. That's true. I don't know. Like, I'm just wondering, like, okay, if he's not the bad guy, then who would be? Even if he's being scapegoated, it's kind of interesting that he gets to keep his job as a scapegoat. But yeah, he is the CEO. An owner can hire a CEO to like manage things, but that just means he's the manager. He is the guy directly responsible. This is such a non-issue to me. Stories, whatever, the gameplay is good. I understand that, but the game's sort of success, continued success, at least in Korea, ends in Korea when that's like their mother country. We only have one version of this game, right? I could see him trying to like, you know, put out the fire by personally writing the script because his writers wouldn't want to because they also hate the conditions that the board of directors put. Okay, I mean, I could see it. I was talking about how ridiculous the Korean player base is for complaining about this stuff. They are the only ones that care. I agree with them. Oh yeah, no, I mean, I don't know if that's obvious, but I also think that the Korean player base is kind of crazy for this, for sure. The shareholders are only responsible for selecting the right CEO and making sure the CEO makes the right decisions. That's what I would think too. It's like they would entrust that the whole purpose of the CEO is to entrust them to make the decisions that would work. I don't think it's so hard to say like it's one or the other. Him getting involved in writing made this worse or harder. But what I was trying to say is like I think him participating in the writing could just be his attempt to, you know, push the project through because his writers were resigning on him. But anyway, comprehensive remediation plan, complete overhaul of the main story, which is crazy. It's gonna recenter the story on the main character, the captain. You know what this is gonna do? Them kind of bending the knee to the Korean player base. It's just gonna drain them of funds because they're gonna have to hire a new team of writers. This seems crazy. They have no choice. If they lose the Korean player base, they might as well shut it down. I thought they had a pretty big launch though. Owen got me into this game, and so it's sad to have to give it up because Korean player base are insecure. Compensation and service stabilization. We'll get 10 pulls. This is a price we must naturally bear as it is our responsibility for creating such errors. Localization, translation, improvements. Solution, the team has reviewed its entire text management process. He promised to improve localization so that no user in any region feels alienated by this kind of problem. He also acknowledged that different localization teams, example, US and Japan, had some creative freedom and that a clear internal policy on the extent of such variations will be established and communicated. Getting insecure because Owen got all the ladies instead of the protagonist is so ridiculous to me. Owen is just another scapegoat. Really is the problem here is that there is a large player base in Korea. I guarantee you, like, none of this matters. His correction of this, like, seeking to correct this, it's not going to change their opinion. They've already kind of decided that they hate these developers. They hate the CEO. They hate this game. And I'm pretty sure they're doing everything they can to just like throw in the fire. Owen is just another scapegoat. The writer is a scapegoat. They don't like Smilegate. They don't like probably what they did with Epic 7 or whatever. Maybe they're trying to get revenge for the writer. I don't know. But something is motivating them on them for pretty much any reason. The writers who left are probably the ones pouring the gas. That's what I think too. Even with all this, I wonder if it's actually going to change anything. I guess we'll have to see. Adjustments to gameplay and monetization. character affinity. Director acknowledged that raising character trust is currently too difficult due to a lack of available gift items. He promised the system would be improved in the first major update. Much smoother. See, like, when they're complaining about something like this, doesn't it just tell you, like, nothing they do will fix it? Because who cares about the affinity system? Why would they care if they hate the game because it's like AI and they hate the character designs, right? Then why would they care if those characters who they hate the visual designs of, if they love them or not, right? This is just another, whatever they can cling on to is something they'll complain about. Business model. Addressing complaints about monetization, he explained the current model was chosen based on two main arguments. The cost to acquire characters is approximately 30% cheaper than a game like Genshin Impact. The absence of limited time characters allows players to a more relaxed long-term approach to collection. He committed to providing more in-game currency and rewards to make character acquisition easier for players. Okay, yeah. I mean, this is like, I guess, him sticking to his guns. It's cheaper, and there's no limited banner, which I think is, I would say is better. Even if it does dilute the character pool over time, it's still better. Every character can be obtained. Yeah, it's similar to Uma. Response to community allegations and concerns. The director dedicated a significant portion of the broadcast to directly address specific and widespread community rumors and controversies. Okay. The coupling controversy and player alienation. Players express frustration with non-play NPCs forming relationships with each other, further sidelining the player protagonist. Kim Hyung-suk admitted the development team did not fully recognize the impact of this issue before launch. He said this problem was exacerbated by the core failure of the protagonist not being the center of the story. Okay, yeah, that's true. In the future, relationships between non-protagonist characters, NPCs, will be handled in external content, such as side stories and webtoons. Within the main game, such interactions will be minimized. It's kind of funny that he's saying like, oh, you guys are kind of making a big deal out of nothing, but we'll fix it anyway. I don't know if this is a good approach, but whatever. At the same time, I don't think any approach is going to satisfy them. The scenario team's resignation in internal politics. Community speculation suggested that internal company politics were the cause of the scenario team's departure. Response: the director firmly denied this rumor. He reiterated that the resignations were a direct result of his own actions, specifically the high-intensity push for development and his demand for nearly 4 or 5 rewrites of the scenario. He said it is my responsibility rather than an internal political issue. Sure, this could just be him taking the fall or whatever. C. Stance on ideological controversies. Certain in-game content led to community's suspicion that the game was promoting specific feminist ideologies. Bro, come on. If you have to listen. If the MC is not playable, then your waifus are gonna save your ass, man. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think a lot of people are okay with that. This is crazy. The director made a clear and definitive statement of the company's position. We hate women. We hate women just like you. I don't like women. I want to state clearly that our company is one that does not support any specific ideology. He acknowledged that content had created discomfort and suspicion, and promised to revise all such content one by one so that players will not have a single doubt. We are here to objectify women as much as you like to objectify. Oh, denial of AI-generated content. Rumors circulated that the development studio used AI tools to create game assets. Response: Kim KHS categorically denied this. He argued that with a studio of over 100 developers, it would be impossible for the truth to be maintained if they were actually using AI. He stated, "We want to state this clearly." I don't know. I feel like some of it does have that feeling, but now I don't know. Maybe I'm being gaslit. But I'm sure, I don't know, is there like a Reddit thread of all the AI stuff? I feel like AI... No. Now that you remind me, the Ray one did look pretty bad. The Ray third leg. Director's personal appeal and commitment. Conclude the broadcast with a personal appeal to the community. Acceptance of personal responsibility. Repeatedly emphasized that the blame for this game's failures rests solely with him. All the 5 lies with me, so please blame me. But he gets to keep his job, so... I don't know. A plea for the development team. Impact on the team. He described the development team, who he said have followed him up for up to 4 years, as being deeply hurt by the situation. Causes him great pain as their leader. Sincerely asked you to refrain from extreme criticism of the development team. Committed to future transparency. I promise to say I will never run away. I will correct what is wrong and take responsibility until the end with a changed appearance. Return to core values. He mentioned that Super Creative's original slogan was to make gamers all over the world happy. He confessed that he had lost sight of this while dealing with business concerns and now wishes to return to the pure heart of a developer. He promised to create more opportunities for live communication to receive feedback and criticism directly from players. This is crazy. I feel like Global and the West really love this game for its innovative gameplay and design. It's amazing to see the contrast between that and the Korean players' reception of this and how much they hate this game and this developer. It's crazy. Owen is definitely gonna die now. He absolutely is gonna die. Rewrite the story scenario 4 times. No wonder the writer resigned. So there's two possibilities. He's taking the fall for the board of directors who, for whatever reason, would involve themselves so deeply with a project, like so deeply that they would even cause the writers to quit. And this is him taking responsibility for it. I don't know which one is easier to believe. I would be curious to know what you guys think of like which story it is. It's one of the two, right? So if you guys have any thoughts about that, leave a comment, I guess. They're gonna execute Owen live on camera. I was so glad when I read the news of the story revamp. It desperately needs it, but then I reached a part where they promised to focus the story around MC even more, banning all sorts of personal interactions between the other characters. There could be no hope in this hell, no hope at all. I thought this was like a Korean spy saying like, oh my god, thank god they're rewriting the story. But then they said like, oh no, they're trying to focus it around the MC. Oh god. I really hope that the rewrite doesn't get rid of the side stories where the characters are off doing their own thing and interacting with each other. It adds a lot of depth to them that you can't get when they only interact with the protagonist. True. Yeah, I really don't think the story is that bad. Bullying is a severe problem in Korea. Everyone in Korean management is guilty of going along with it. So 2 things can be true. Yes, the manager f***ed up. And yes, they're scapegoating the manager. Owen about to be revealed as a female all along. It could be, okay, it could be a third thing. The third thing is that this problem escaped him, right? This problem got out of hand. There were a lot of internal company politics. There is bullying going on. There is a lot of like flinging between the writing team, the original scenario team, the new team that he brought in from Epic 7 to try and fix the issue. He has to take responsibility for it in that case, whether or not the directors would ask him to. I found a video of things that they were pointed out as AI.
The AI art thing is always going to be it's going to be something that people try to like, you know, jump into conclusions, but let's try and be fair and look at it. I'm going to translate this post to English.
It's like the Korean player base is like, you see this? This too much. This clearly AI. She's too fat. This AI.
Okay, I don't understand, man. I need the explanation. Let me use.
Okay. There's a black belt, black strap, and double belts. So they're saying it's not consistent with this, which is black strap. Okay, sure. Sure. But there could be like multiple people working on this. Also, it is a different art style. Okay, sure. But this doesn't mean AI. The fact that it's inconsistent doesn't necessarily mean it's AI. What it does mean, or what it could mean, is that the design of this character has changed over time. Maybe she chunked up. I mean, like, that's bad though? I don't think it's that bad, especially when you have to have original art for all these cards. All these cards are, they have an original art. Different artists, concept versus final. I see the belts are too big. Lack of communication between artists. That, yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean, this is not like a smoking barrel. A communication issue, a art direction team issue, art director issue. This doesn't necessarily mean AI. Isn't that belt connected to the shield? No, I don't think. Okay, Maribel, I think no AI. I think we're fine. A mirror. So they're saying this is way different from what they have here. That's not, again, that's just not AI. I think both, okay, wait, I don't understand. I think both, like, this Maribel and this Maribel are hottest, right? She could be a little chunky, she could be a little skinny. I think they're both pretty good. I don't think it's that bad. Being honest, can we even tell anymore if it's AI? Well, we're not trying to say, like, I'm trying to point at their evidence and show, or at least reason with you guys, just because it's inconsistent design wise doesn't necessarily mean it's AI. Even if you inspect it, it doesn't look off, right? Huh? They swapped the shoulders? Is this really? It's AI because they swapped the shoulders. It's AI because they swapped the shoulders. It's mirrored. Well, the eye is the same and the bandage is the same. So this should be on the other shoulder. It should be, but I don't think that necessarily means it's AI. And since when does, I was gonna say, since when does Korea care about AI? I think AI is probably a global thing. They said too fat, too thick, too big the booba. What? You know what this does look like? This looks like she had probably more of her tits showing, and they drew over it, maybe to meet some censorship or age guidelines. This does look like that. That doesn't mean it's AI. The live 2D is going to be a different artist from the original card art, or the card artist. I think that's fair. This could just be, like, again, a big communication issue. And it's not even that big. I'm sorry. It's just a very minor communication issue. Because they're clearly different artists. They're clearly different artists. And that's okay. But that doesn't necessarily, again, it doesn't mean AI. Like, none of these mean AI. All right, we have the comments. We have the comments. But if you look at these comments, look at how many of them are just giggling like schoolgirls. They are loving this, dude. This guy's expression. That's what I'm saying. It's like, no matter what the devs do, no matter what the CEO says, whatever it is, for whatever reason, these people have decided they hate them. Because none of this really matters. Anyway, none of this looks like AI to me. This looks like just extreme nitpicking. This looks like they're just pointing out inconsistencies in the design, which can clearly be explained by the live 2D and, or rather this, whatever this art, the main art, concept art, key design is different from whoever the card artist is. And that they might have, I mean, a team of him. And the main issue seems to be a communication issue between the main key artist with the card designers. That's the only thing I can see. And it sucks. It is bad, but it's like very minor and not definitively AI. That's all I have to say about that.